I thought AI receptionists were terrible, complete waste of money, just expensive robots that customers would hate. And if you've ever tried one of those chatbots a couple of years ago, you probably think the same thing right now. I tried one in 2024 for my carpet cleaning business. It was a disaster. Customers complained it sounded robotic. It couldn't understand basic questions. It gave wrong prices. After 3 weeks, I shut it down and went back to voicemail. So I get it, I was the biggest skeptic in the room. But then something happened over the last 12 months that made me completely reverse my position. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what changed, why I decided to test it again, despite my terrible experience, and the results from 30 days of using a modern AI receptionist in my actual cleaning business. My name is Mimo, and I'm not a tech company trying to sell you software. I'm an operator, just like you. I've spent the last decade building and running 6 service businesses from the ground up here in Melbourne. Carpet cleaning, pre-sale cleaning, end of lease, the whole lot. I've dealt with every headache you're dealing with right now. Staff calling in sick, customers ringing when I'm 3 stories up a ladder. The sinking feeling when I check my phone at 9 p.m. and see 7 missed calls. And here's my rule. I never sell anything I haven't tested successfully in my own businesses first. Everything I'm about to show you I did in my businesses before offering it to anyone else. And I know exactly what you're thinking right now. Mimo, I tried a chatbot. It was terrible. My customers hated it. Why would this be any different? That's the exact question I asked in mid-2025 when someone showed me the new AI receptionist technology. I said, mate, I already wasted $2,000 on this rubbish, not interested. But then they showed me something that made me realize what I tried in 2024 and what's possible in 2026 are not even the same category of product. And when I learned that 85% of customers who reach voicemail never call back, I realized I couldn't afford to keep being skeptical. So I ran an experiment. 30 days, my actual carpet cleaning business, real customers. And what happened completely changed how I run my businesses. Let me show you exactly what I discovered. Here's what most service business owners don't realize. Every time your phone rings and nobody answers, you're not just losing a call. You're losing a potential $300 to $1,200 job. In Australia, the average service business loses $126,000 per year to missed calls. For cleaning businesses specifically, that number is even higher because 60 to 80% of calls come in during peak job times when you're physically unable to answer. Think about it. When do customers call cleaning businesses? Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. When are you available to answer? Almost never, because that's when you're actually working. Think about the last time you were on a job, covered in cleaning solution up a ladder in the middle of a carpet clean, and you heard your phone buzzing in your pocket. You couldn't answer. That caller, they called the next business on Google, and that business answered on the first ring. That's your money walking out the door, not because you did bad work, not because your prices were too high, because you didn't answer the phone. Now, before I show you what I tested, let me tell you why everything you've probably tried so far doesn't work. Because if you're like most operators, you've already tried to fix this problem. Here's why your current solution is failing. 85% of customers never call back when they reach voicemail. 67% don't even listen to the voicemail. They just move on to the next business on Google. Voicemail is not a solution. It's a revenue black hole. If you're paying for an answering service, you're spending $2,000 to $3,000 per month for someone reading a script who doesn't actually understand your business, can't access your calendar, and has to take a message that you follow up on hours late. By then, the customer has already booked someone else. If you hire a full-time receptionist, you're paying $50,000 a year, plus superannuation, plus training, plus sick days, plus holidays, and they only work 40 hours a week when you need coverage 168 hours. They also spend 70% of their time answering spam calls, price shoppers who never book, and people asking questions they could Google. And if you tried a chatbot in 2024, here's why it failed. It was keyword based. If the customer didn't use the exact word the chatbot was programmed for, it broke. It couldn't handle Australian accents. It didn't understand that bond clean means end of lease clean. It couldn't adapt when customers interrupted or changed their mind mid-conversation. It felt robotic because it was robotic. It was software, not intelligence. So I completely understand why you're skeptical. I was too. But here's the question that changed everything for me. What does the next 6 months look like if nothing changes? You'll keep missing calls. Your competitors who adopt this technology will capture those leads while you're on jobs. You'll keep paying staff to answer spam calls. You'll keep feeling that guilt every time you see a missed call notification. And the gap between you and your competitors will get wider. Now compare that to the scary option, spending $500 per month to capture every single call, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, forever. Which is actually scarier? Losing $3,000 per month in missed revenue or investing $500 to capture it? The real risk isn't trying this. The real risk is doing nothing and watching your competitors pull ahead while you stay stuck. So here's what I did. I ran a 30-day test in my carpet cleaning business, BCCM. Not a fake demo, not a simulation, real customers, real jobs, real money on the line. Here's what I set up. I configured the AI receptionist to handle all incoming calls. It had access to my services, my pricing, my service areas, my calendar. If a customer called asking for a quote, the AI would ask what service they needed, confirm their suburb, check if we service that area, give them a price estimate, book them into my calendar, send an SMS confirmation with payment link, all automatically while I was working. Now here's what I was skeptical about. Would customers realize it was AI? Would they complain? Would they book with someone else because they wanted a real person? Here's what actually happened. 72% of callers couldn't tell it was AI. They thought they were talking to my receptionist. The ones who did realize it was AI, they didn't care. They just wanted their question answered and their job booked. Zero complaints. I started noticing something. Jobs were appearing in my calendar that I never manually booked. After hours calls. Calls that came in while I was on another job. Calls I would have normally missed. The AI was capturing leads I didn't even know I was losing. I ran the numbers. Here's what the AI handled in 30 days. 270 calls answered. 89 jobs booked, 43 spam calls filtered, never reached me, 17 after hours bookings would have gone to voicemail, $8,500 in revenue from calls I would have missed. Cost $500 ROI, 1,600%. That's when I realized this isn't the same as the chatbot I tried in 2024. This actually works. Now I don't want you to just take my word for it. Here's the number you can call right now while you're watching this video. Call it. Pretend you're a customer needing a carpet clean. Ask for a quote. Try to confuse it. Ask about services we don't do. See if you think it's good enough for your business. I'll wait. Seriously. Pause this video. Call the number. Experience it as a customer. Then come back and decide if I'm exaggerating. So what's different between the 2024 chatbot I hated and the 2026 AI receptionist I'm now using across all my businesses? 3 massive breakthroughs. The old chatbots sounded like robots because they were text-based systems with computer voices bolted on. The new AI uses natural language processing built from the ground up for voice. It doesn't sound like press 1 for sales. It sounds like your receptionist having a normal conversation. 72% of my customers can't tell it's AI. That's the difference. Old chatbots were keyword-based. If you said bond clean and it was programmed for end of lease clean, it broke. New AI understands understands context. It knows that bond clean, end of lease clean, vacate clean, and move out clean are all the same thing. It handles Australian accents. It understands interruption. It adapts when customers change their mind mid-conversation. It's not following a script. It's understanding intent. All chatbots took messages that you had to manually follow up on. New AI books directly into your calendar. Service M8. Tradify, Google Calendar, whatever you use. The customer asks for a quote. The AI checks your availability, books the job, sends SMS confirmation with payment link, all while you're working. No manual entry, no delays, no dropped leads. Those three changes, natural voice, contextual understanding, and direct integration, are why this is a completely different product than what you tried 2 years ago. So if you've been burned by chatbots before, I completely understand your skepticism. I was there. I wasted $2,000 and 3 weeks of frustration. But don't let a bad 2024 experience stop you from seeing what's possible in 2026. Experience it as a customer, decide for yourself if it's good enough, and drop a comment below with your biggest AI doubt. I'll reply to every single one, because here's the thing. I'm not trying to convince you to buy anything right now. I'm trying to convince you to test it. Call the demo. Watch the next few videos in this series where I break down exactly how it works, what it costs, and the real results from my businesses and others. Then you'll have enough information to make a smart decision for your business. But the worst thing you can do is let past failures stop you from future wins. Talk soon.